Hi guys, Jace here. I'm just going to do this video. It's my first video, and so bear with me, and if I stumble and stutter, apologies. Hopefully it'll get better from here on in. So I'm going to do the road to the Whaka100. There's 80 days left now. I've been training on and off for most of the year, mainly on. I was originally training for the BC bike race, which was due to be held in July. Previous to that, we had a warm-up race called the Port to Port, which is in Newcastle, just north of Sydney. Unfortunately, because of COVID, they were cancelled. So what I'm going to do is do the Whaka100. Now, I was entered for the Whaka100, but I just decided to enter the 100 mainly because the 100 would be more of a challenge. The 100 is achievable, and also I thought, well, I don't want to go to an event and just do the 50. I would rather do the whole thing, tick it off the bucket list, and then it's done. So what I'm probably going to do is just do the road to the Whaka from now. I'll show you my training plans on Trainer Road. That's what I've been using. I have got Zwift, don't use it very often anymore. I normally stick with Trainer Road and watch YouTube videos on Netflix, and that is my entertainment. Here you can see my Trainer Road account with my FTP and weight and FTP kilo on the top right. My latest ride on the left, and my next workout, which may or may not be my workout, on the right. This is the calendar for the year. It goes back to 4 years, which I can click here. It's a lot smaller. Let's look at the last year. The light green is the outdoor workouts. The dark green are the indoor workouts, and these little diamonds are my FTP changes, if at all. The grey line that is going down slightly is my training stress. This big one here is when I was doing the Festive 500, so you can see the actual training stress is 931, which is the highest it's been. So click on the training programs, just out of interest. So you've got 3 phases: Trainer Road Go Forward, the base, the build, and the speciality. Now the base is mainly sweet spot, which is around 88% to I think 92-93% of your FTP, and you can do zone 2, which is what I was doing this year, just to change it up. The build phase, which is lots of VO2 threshold work, over and unders, and the speciality phase, which is special or more specific to your discipline that you're doing. You can see on the 18th of August here, I'm due to start my more specific Jesus Christ. So here's my calendar, and you can see I do 2 or 3 Trainer Road workouts a week unless I'm away, and then I will split my time to outdoors from there. And we've got my speciality phase, which is starting in a couple of weeks' time on the 18th of August. Due a ramp test, may or may not do that, don't really like them, who does? And then we've got a couple of sessions after that, a week on from there. Now I've chose the climbing road race just for the first about 6 weeks or so, mainly because 3,000 meters of climbing is no joke, so I need to work on my climbing, so it's lots of threshold stuff. The last few weeks, you can see I go to the cross-country marathon phase, so the last few weeks there, you can see they're pretty much VO2 intervals, and it goes back down to sweet spot or threshold, so that's going to be tough. So that's the Trainer Road workouts and plans. If you've got any questions, just ask me in the comments. So training wise, I would say my strengths first. I'll go with my strengths. Probably I'm better than average at descending, so I think my skill level is reasonably good, better on average than my ascents. So yes, I think my strategy is always quite good. I plan things out. My nutrition is quite good. I've done a few longer road race events. I did K2 last year, which is around the Coromandel. Took me under 7 hours, and my nutrition was pretty nailed for that. I did Taupo a few weeks after that, which is around the lake, in Lake Taupo, and that took me under 5 hours. Nutrition wasn't as big a factor then, but you know, it certainly is an issue if you're doing something 5 hours. And I'll go through my nutrition at a later date, but I think they're my strengths. Weaknesses, as I mentioned before, ascending. I think I'm pretty good at VO2 intervals. I'm okay at them. I am not so good at threshold intervals. So I've realized over the last few weeks I need to work on threshold, build it up gradually, and then hopefully that will improve my FTP. Now my FTP currently is around about 234. That makes me about 3.1 watts per kilo, or around 3 watts a kilo. My weight at the moment, I want to say 75 kilograms, but it's 77. And I am, another weakness I guess, is I am 50 years old this year, and that was why I was doing the BC bike race bucket list event for my 50th birthday. So what are my expectations for the race? Well, I'm hoping to do 8 hours. Now that's possible. It could be a stretch, it may not be. I know it's going to be tough to do under 8 hours, and it depends how I'm feeling on the day, how my nutrition goes, how my fitness level goes over the next 80 days, and how I'm feeling, what position I get in initially. That's going to be a big factor, and I'm hoping that, you know, well, it's achievable. 8 hours is achievable. I'm going to do 8 hours. That's the plan. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to update you every now and then. I'll do vlogs. I'll do updates when I can, and I'll let you know how I'm tracking. I don't expect my FTP to go up too far. It's been pretty much the same for the last 2-3 years since I started training. I went up, took 6 months to get to 234, and it hasn't really kind of got up since. It's been hovering around there. I think my goal would be to get up to 250 or 3.5 watts a kilo, something like that. Is that achievable? Don't know. It may be achievable for next year's BC bike race. Fingers crossed it happens, but we will see, and I will let you know how I get on with my updates. Click here to subscribe, and you'll get more videos in the future. I'll try to do them as much as possible, but you know, I've got a full-time job, so who knows.